Yo, this your boy CEO Hockley. Real quick, man. Today's episode is being sponsored by OGHollywoodspeaks.com. Yes, that's right. OGHollywoodspeaks.com has this fly gear, man. Savage Drive, man. He has this very fly gear, man. He's a former prisoner that changed his life, did 25 years after receiving a life sentence, got home, and he been home 10 years, man. He's been out, he's been free 10 years. He has his own clothing line called Savage Drive. It represents the kind of drive you need to have to make it to the top, the kind of drive you need to have to stay free, right? And as we talk about this prison topic, I want to highlight and show and give respects to those that have been to prison and that are doing the right things in today's society. Everybody go to OGHollywoodspeaks.com and get that Savage Drive. If you got the drive it takes to be successful, man, support him. Also, you can follow him on YouTube. You can follow him on all social medias at OGHollywoodspeaks.com. We appreciate the support here at CEO Talk, and we also like to support other black people doing something positive, man. Savage Drive, that is the clothing line. Get yours today. Salute.
Salute, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Remember to go to www.com, OG Hollywood Speaks, and get what? The Savage Drive gear. Because you have to be a savage. And I'm not going to keep telling you. You have to be a savage on this flatland to make it to the next level. And you most definitely have to have the drive. I don't know what your drive is, but my drive is to stay free. What is your drive? Are you a savage in your everyday life? And do you have what it takes to stay free? I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. Simple as that. However, I digress. As the one and only CEO Hockley would say. So it's only right that I do the same. In other words, what I'm saying, we got choices, man. We got choices in this real free society on what we do on an everyday basis. But for me to you, whatever you do, make it count. Make it count. Because the day you lay off, it might be the day you miss the payoff. You know, y'all always saying y'all chasing the bag. I don't get that, but I'm not against that. Because I firmly believe this. Anything that you chasing in life, you chasing it. And if it's running from you, what that tells you, you're in the wrong race. You're in the wrong race. Some people chase things their whole life, only never to get it. And some people get lucky and get it. But we know this for sure. A hobo stumble up on a ham sandwich every now and then. Don't let that go over your head. I say a hobo, that's somebody that hangs around places, you know, and looks in trash cans and get things that other people have eaten. That's what I mean. A hobo will get lucky every now and then and stumble up on a ham sandwich. Are you trying to be that hobo? Or are you making the right choices? You know, this world is about choices, man. Take a look behind me. These men have made the wrong choice in life. They have made the wrong choice in life. And they wind up where? In a system. I always like to talk about systems, man. Because you got a lot of systems that work and you got a lot of systems that don't work. But when you wind up in this place behind me, Your system didn't work. So now you've entered somebody else's system only to do what? Work for free. Only to work for free. At least if you was in another state, they're going to give you a couple of dollars. But now where I'm from, you work for what they call good time. That the good times roll. That's what you work for, good time. It once used to be a time, man, where it was brought to the table where inmates used to talk about getting paid. But old Ruiz, I don't know if y'all familiar with Ruiz, so we won't get into that. But old Ruiz took the state to court, and he won. He fought for good time. Well, good time enables a man to get out early, as they say. It enables to get for a man to do a certain amount of days, and they'll give you a certain amount of days. That's what good time is for, right? And it's still that way today in 2025. And the parole board is supposed to acknowledge that. However, they don't. They don't. They want you to do a substantial amount of time, even before you are considered for any kind of parole. And 9 out of 10, anybody that's serving time will receive a set-off. Oh yeah, I'm teaching parole today. This is for people that don't understand and don't know about it. And for people that think they gonna go to prison and get out the first time around once they come up for parole. That goes back to that saying I just said. Every now and then, a hobo stumbles across a ham sandwich. In other words, every now and then, out of 10 inmates, 2 of them might make first parole. The rest of them gonna get the rubber stamp. What is the rubber stamp, Wood? The rubber stamp is 15 people go in, 13 of them gonna get set-offs for all the same reasons. Namely, the nature of the offense. What is the nature of the offense? The nature of the offense is the offense that you committed that sent you to prison, right? So I've seen men that's been held in prison for over 20-some years. Now we all know the nature of the offense ain't gonna change, right? But we've all been a victim to the nature of the offense scenario where it gives you a set-off, right? It used to be a 3-year set-off. Or some people get a 1-year set-off, or some people get a 2-year set-off. Now you can give you a whole 5-year set-off. Can you imagine getting a 5-year set-off? That's like going to court all over again and getting a 5-year sentence. That means that you will have to adhere to all the stuff that you adhered to when you came up for parole. What does that mean? You got to stay out of trouble. Go to whatever program they tell you to go to. And you have to, what they call, be in compliance with the institutional adjustment. That's another thing they give you a set-off on. You are not adjusted to the institution. What do I mean by that? I've seen men go to parole only to get a set-off for nature of the offense or not adjusting to the institution. If your record is clean when you go to parole, you get a set-off for that. Why? Because they said you manipulated the system. You know how to stay out of trouble when it comes time for you to come for parole. So in other words, what I'm saying, man, is they want you to fuck up. Fuck up for 5 or 6 years. And for 10 or 15 years, they don't want you to have no cases. That's what they mean by institutional adjustment. Now, are they going to come out and say that to you? Nope. They're not going to come out and say that to you. But that's what that means, right? And like I said, everybody that goes to prison, you're going to get a set off, regardless of the fact of whether you come up for parole and you did good or you did bad. For example, 20 men went to parole the day that I went to parole, right? We all had different cases. But we did have in common was this. Each and every one of us has served a substantial amount of time. And on the front end of that, the courts gave us a substantial amount of time, right? So what do when we all entered this one room? Did you see the same person? No, you seen different people. This was the unit parole. You seen different people. And this person has no power whatsoever, whether you make parole or not, although they're going to pretend to. They're going to ask you all the necessary questions, and you can answer them how you want to answer them. But this person that's interviewing you on the unit is only a unit parole officer. Your case go elsewhere. And those are the people that vote on you, whether you're going to stay or whether you're going to go. I've never understood why a man couldn't go in front of these particular people that's voting on you and look these people eye to eye and state your case on why you should be free. I'm only speaking for Texas. Elsewhere, people go in front of a parole board. However, I'm in a slave state where when you go to court in any county you in Texas, they say you are bound to the state. What do they mean by that? You are owned by the state. You are owned by the state. And the day that you go to court and you get that time, you are a slave. In other words, I'm just giving a ball, a strike, a strike. A ball, a strike, a strike. That's what I'm doing today, right? But in every other state, you get to talk to the people that's voting your case, right? But not in Texas. You are bound and you belong to the state, right? So, like I said, this is a teaching moment, man. And I am the parole instructor today. For those that didn't know. For those that didn't know how it worked. I'm telling you how it worked. If you are convicted in the state of Texas, you will receive a set-off. Do I know how long it's going to be? No. Do you know how long it's going to be? No. But don't get your hopes up high when they give you that small little piece of paper and they say you got to lay in. What does it lay in? It's a piece of paper. It's a notification that you are going to see unit parole. Some people get so excited that they're going to see unit parole, they run to the blue phone, AKA the bat phone. They call home. I got a parole lay-in. I got a parole lay-in. Only to build their hopes up for a letdown. And you have to, and what's so cold about it, you have to wait X amount of days before this answer come back. Imagine waiting 45 days only to tell you that you're gonna have to be incarcerated another 3 to 5 years. A major setback from a mental standpoint, right? However, if you got the bounce back in you and you understand that, man, you know what? This is the way this ball bouncing. It's my time, but it's not my turn. In other words, It's a lot of people, and it's a long line, and everybody has a number. When your number is called, guess what? You will be free. 25 years I waited on that number to be called. I didn't know whether to be excited or scared, right? Let's take a trip to the Walls unit. I'm gonna walk you through the Walls unit on my day of release, right? You had the people in this side that was getting sent back to wherever they come from, that came to, those were the people that were illegal. You had illegal people here, and you had people that was legal here. And you had people that had outstanding warrants and cases on them that they was getting picked up. Well, when you put in a position after you do a substantial amount of time, you don't know whether you're going or coming. You don't know what side or what to believe, even though you got this piece of paper saying you going free. It's still in your mind that, hey man, they can still keep me here. The relief only comes in once you walk out that door. Once you enter society again. That's how being released work. That's the edge you on. You don't know whether to be excited or nervous of what might happen, because it's a hell of a feeling when the unseen hand is at hand. Many men have went through that. Many men. But some men receive what they call the dreadful set-off. And most men prepare themselves for it. Why? Because a lot of men have discharge dates. So in their mind, they already say, you know what? If I don't make it, I don't care. Especially those that have 4 or 5 months left on parole. They don't care whether they make it or not. Only thing they see, you know what? It's light at the end of my tunnel. I'm going home regardless. I'm on discharge. That's what that's called, a discharge. But most men don't have a discharge date. So what do? You have to hope and you have to pray like hell that these people see it your way. Because if not, you here to stay, buddy. You here to stay. And that's for real. But like I say, most men have discharge dates. So their attitude about parole is different. They don't care if they go or if they stay. They know one thing. On this particular date, I'm going home. I'm going home. However, keep in mind, I say we all got choices. We all got choices. And we all got free will to do whatever we want to do every day out here in this dreadful free world. It's challenging. It's a struggle, especially for those that did a lot of time and sometimes don't know whether they're going or whether they're coming. They don't know. They don't know. But then you have those that are already set up with a support structure system that allows them to be able to sit back and think and calculate their next move. But everybody don't have that luxury. Everybody don't have that luxury. So the people don't have that luxury sometimes return back to these hallways behind me. All because they couldn't figure it out. They couldn't figure it out. They were superheroes in prison, invincible men in prison, but come out and let the light beat them up. As once again, like a personal friend of mine by the name of CEO Hockley says, when you enter that time machine, you can be all you want to be, only to come out and let the light bill kick you square in your ass. Something so simple is not simple to everybody, man. It's not simple to everybody. But I understand it's to each his own. And that's the way the parole system works. You either accept what you got coming or you don't. But once again, most men that are discharging, I'm gonna show you the way they feel and the way they think. Check this out.
And carrying a gun, that ain't hurt no one but me.
You think you deserve parole?
Hey, if you're gonna give it to me, give it to me. If not, I can go back. I'm not here to debate with y'all or nothing. If you're gonna grant me parole, grant it to me. If you're not gonna grant it to me, I got 5 months to go. As simple as that.
Well, you know, Mr. Edwards, you make it very difficult to even consider you for parole.
I'm just being straight up. If you're gonna grant it to me, grant it to me.
You know,
If not, I'll go back and I'll finish my time.
So it's not either give it to me or
I don't
don't.
consider myself a risk in the community. I'm gonna go back out. Either way, I'm gonna go back out and I'm gonna be the same person I was. I'm gonna live my life the way I was living it. I wasn't out there causing hectic, commotions or anything against nobody. The only person I hurt was me by driving a car with unregistered car and carrying a gun.
Okay, in this video, old school right. Why? Because he has a discharge date where his sentence will be complete in 5 months. But on the back end of that, a man that's doing a great substantial amount of time can't think like that. And as you can see in this video, the people that are interviewing him got upset. Why? Because they're not used to a man not giving a damn. And there's nothing wrong with not giving a damn if you had a type of time where you can get out. And he understood his position in this. It's no either or. Why? Because I got 5 months left. That's why he feel like the way he feel. The parole board is a bully system. It bullies you into a corner where you have no choice other than to submit if you have time to do, or if you relying on parole. As they call it, man, they say parole is a privilege. And in some cases it is. Because if you are doing a life sentence on parole, it's considered as a privilege to you. Because it is what it sounds like it is. It's life. So you're at the discretion of the people you're talking to. But in his case, he's not.
That ain't hurt no one but me.
well, you
5621, move to deny parole based upon criminal history, inadequate evidence of offender change, and inadequate institutional program participation. Is there a second?
second.
Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Mr. Edwards, we weren't able to give you.
Thank you. Y'all have a nice day.
All right. We hope.
He already knew he was going to get a set off. So his mind was made up even before he got out there. Well, either you're going to give it to him or you're not. He knew what time it was. But once again, when you have the time that he have, this is the attitude to have. Why come to the world and put up with people that you don't have to put up with?
Hope you have a good New Year.
So like I said, man, this is only a teaching moment about parole, man. But I want to show y'all this piece of content that is vital to people that think they're gonna go to prison and make first parole. Or you're not gonna get a set out. It ain't gonna happen. And to be able to do what he did, you have to be done did most all that time. And most men are not built for that. Even if they have small time, they're not built for it. So anyway, man, from me to you, the best way to beat this is to stay free, man. And don't get caught in these hallways behind me. These people made the wrong decision. And I always like to say this, man. Use what's in front of you. That's your best teaching. You don't have to go nowhere. All you have to do is look at the places that other people go and to know that it's real. It's real. My story ain't gonna save you because we have two different stories and two different paths. But what you can learn from is this. I don't have to go nowhere to know the severity of life, man. It's easy math, man. It's easy math. It's easy math, man. Your choice is yours, man. And that's real. So, man, y'all remember to stay up and stay free, man. And don't get caught in these hallways, man.
Yo, this your boy CEO Hockley. Real quick, man, today's episode is being sponsored by OGHollywoodspeaks.com. Yes, that's right. OGHollywoodspeaks.com has this fly gear, man. Savage Drive, man. He has this very fly gear, man. He's a former prisoner that changed his life, did 25 years after receiving a life sentence, got home, and he been home 10 years, man. He's been out. He's been free 10 years. He has his own clothing line called Savage Drive. It represents the kind of drive you need to have to make it to the top, the kind of drive you need to have to stay free, right? And as we talk about this prison topic, I want to highlight and show and give respects to those that have been to prison and that are doing the right things in today's society. Everybody go to OGHollywoodspeaks.com and get that Savage Drive. If you got the drive it takes to be successful, man, support him. Also, you can follow him on YouTube. You can follow him on all social medias at OGHollywoodspeaks.com. We appreciate the support here at CEO Talk, and we also like to support other black people doing something positive, man. Savage Drive, that is the clothing line. Get yours today.